Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to Happy Gaming News. We're going to be taking a look at the news in gaming from the week of March 15th through the 22nd. Heads up before we get into this episode, I know people are expecting some announcements regarding Final Fantasy XI in this week's gaming news, but I'm going to make a separate video altogether for the news regarding that, so please look out for it. Now, this week had a number of game releases that I want to highlight. First up is Battlefield Hardline. Now, I used to put in tons of hours on Battlefield Bad Company 2, and so I was looking forward to at least seeing how this game was going to do. It's being regarded as a pretty good addition to the Battlefield series and its fans, with a solid single-player campaign that has multiple ways to go about it, and an engaging and sometimes hilarious, trust me, multiplayer combat. It has its share of gripes in both the single-player and multiplayer areas, but like most modern FPS games, those who really enjoy these games for the thrill just likely won't really care about these little issues. Battlefield Hardline can be picked up on the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PC. Good luck with Origin. Now, another game that saw launch this week was Mario Party 10. No gameplay, because we know how Nintendo is with that. Technically, the game launched in Japan the previous week, but the rest of the world got their hands on it just a couple days ago. Now, while the game has some neat innovations, such as a mode where the gamepad actually gives a fifth player control over Bowser, the game is severely lacking in most departments, apparently. There's poor amiibo usage and even poorer minigames, which is hard to believe coming from a Mario Party game. May make you stick to older titles. I, myself, prefer Mario Party 2. Now, if you're still interested, you can pick it up on the Wii U. And of course, I have to talk about one of the games that launched this week for us RPG fans, Final Fantasy Type-0 HD. Now, this game is the HD re-release of a PSP game that was launched in Japan back in 2011. Now, depending on who you ask, it is often considered to be one of the best Final Fantasy games that was never released in North America, and Square Enix responded to that with this release on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, the game's action-based combat sees you following the story of the students of Class 0, an elite subset capable of handling themselves in the toughest of combat situations. Now, while the game has been somewhat of a success, it faces some issues being a port of a PSP game. The most noticeable issue is with the camera, and more specifically, its sensitivity. A light tap of the right analog stick fires the camera in the designated direction at lightning speed. This then leads into the game's other problem, motion blur. I myself find the game literally unplayable due to headaches from this fidgety, blurry mess of a camera, and unfortunately means that I pretty much just bought Type-0 for a demo, which we'll talk about in a minute, but players that are able to bypass this issue will find a dark and satisfying Final Fantasy game with solid action-based combat. You can grab Final Fantasy Type-0 HD for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One now. And I can't talk about Type-0 without talking about the demo bundled with the Day 1 editions of the game. Now, anyone who pre-ordered or managed to purchase a Day 1 copy of Type-0 HD was rewarded with a demo for Final Fantasy 15. This game is legendary amongst fans for seeing so many issues and delays with its development that it's been almost a decade since it was first announced as Final Fantasy Versus 13. The demo, called Episode Dusque, has the protagonist, Noctis, and his party exploring the Dusque region of the game in hopes of gathering enough funds to repair their car. I'm serious. This leads them into a dark and dangerous dungeon and on the hunt for a powerful behemoth. I'll go into full detail on the demo in my review later in this week, but TLDW, I enjoyed the hell out of it. So there are a few other news segments that I could talk about from this past week. Predator being in the Combat Pack for Mortal Kombat X, the teaser for Type Next, which is going to be Type-0 sequel, and even the announcement of the Nintendo NX, which we know absolutely nothing about, other than it being a next-generation hardware concept for Nintendo. But all of that pales in comparison to the rumor going around about Hideo Kojima and Konami. While there have been no official announcements as of this recording, everyone in the gaming industry has pretty much come to accept that Hideo Kojima, the mastermind behind the Metal Gear Solid franchise, will be leaving Konami after the completion of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. While he will see that title to its completion, the split is rumored to be a result of a power struggle between Konami and Kojima. What this means for the future of all franchises Kojima has directed or produced is currently unknown, but Konami is in the process of hiring staff for another Metal Gear game. I don't know about you, but Metal Gear without Hideo Kojima hardly seems Metal Gear. Maybe I'm just overreacting, but I'll keep you updated on this topic in future episodes. And that's it for this week's episode of Happy Gaming News. For more information about all these topics, be sure to check out the description of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.